Okay, so that should be all. And let me just there. Good. Are we good? Are we chilling? Are we cool? Come on, Twitch. Come on. Tell me. OBS says we're fine, so why don't you? Maybe a quick reload will fix this. Okay, that's been good enough. There we go, stream manager. And okay. Oh, let's really sit up straight. And readjust my chair because it's being stupid and annoying. You know, the usual, right? The usual. Okay. Now with that, we are just about ready to get started. Though I do want to go and get the free stuff. No, just a minute. I already did a few before stream. I was just setting up everything, you know, just letting it run in the background. And yeah, now we're started. Also, first evening stream. It's also meant to be an evening stream instead of just sudden reschedule because random stuff. But to be fair, like one of them in the last one, like that one was actually meant to be in the evening because like I had already planned to go and watch a film. but the other delays, they were not at all planned. So you know, this is also the first one where I actually do mean for it to be in the evening. The weather is becoming a bit hotter though, which is kind of annoying. We're just gonna quickly pop in and do the dungeon, and after that we're actually going to get to the challenge. Oh, this one probably would have been better if I would have gone for an assist, eh? Oh well. You know, not that takes long really, especially when they also get poisoned. But this basically shows how the next levels will go, except even easier. Because the normal levels aren't scaled up to player level, which means that in theory we should just be able to, you know, rinse through them. No issue whatsoever. So let's do this just to get some extra damage in. Yeah, I mean, like the weather could be worse, I suppose. Like I did see that even though it was forecasted to not get above 27 for well over a month, you know, the forecast changed and now it says, oh hey, yeah, no, it's actually gonna be above 30 in a few days, haha. So that's cool. Oh, good thing that I do have my water. Because unlike some streamers, I do actually try to stay hydrated. You know, good to keep your health in check and all that. Are these people never done being stupid and annoying? Or, I mean, like they're pigs, you know? And I guess them being ghosts also kind of, you know, changes things a bit. Okay, so we target this one for the extra damage. Then we do this. I mean, I probably could have used the chili, yeah. But I kind of find it hard to gauge, right? And it's not exactly like we're struggling here. Like, you taken down before they could really do much of, well, anything really. Okay, so we hit that one for the damage boost, and then we get the chili. So I know that should just be about 1 more minute, and then we actually get to the challenge that I mean to do. That's not good. That's pretty bad actually. Let's see, 900, and you do. Okay, so we're cool. Chill. Oh, and that should still be a 3-star performance, right? Oh, and I also played a bit more Angry Birds Star Wars lately, because I still need to 3-star the bonus levels, which is only like 20 or so, and now I think only 10. So not too bad, though I say so myself. Not too bad. Oh, hey, resources. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we start where the game started. All that time back. After an advertisement. Oh, these advertisements are so annoying. But yeah, it's Rovio doing what Rovio does. Again, it doesn't make sense because it's their own game, so like, what's the point? Your people already know that they exist, and if they don't want it, then shoving ads in their face doesn't make them suddenly want to play your stupid slop. I have very strong feelings about new gen Rovio compared to the classic Rovio. In case you hadn't noticed. Right, yeah, the plan is to just go through the game from the start to the end, doing all the side branches first before you like move on. So sometimes we deviate a bit from the order of the story levels, but it's gonna be like really just the general areas that are still gonna be in order, as is gonna be the main line of levels. So now we start to go up the Toad, then move on to Golden Fields, then the lake and the desert, then the jungle, then a different sea, then the bamboo forest, etc. Wow, I know quite a lot just by saying it, don't I? But yeah, again, so far I think we're chilling. And I should put the spend down right away. So like now we're basically chilling, and then if we do get a level that we are unable to beat, not too likely with Chuck, although there are like 1 or 2 that's still gonna be an issue regardless. But yeah, so far we're actually doing pretty well. Like, this is the first sort of special level in the game. Not counting like the first one is also special because it's the very first level. They're not gonna do stuff like that, right? Because this is actually where you free check, because you start the game with only red, and then you go through the first few levels just on your own. And here you can actually free check, and if you target Chuck's cage, then he'll take care of the rest of the enemies. I don't actually know what happens if you take out the normal enemies first. I don't even know if that's an option, really. Because you can't really revisit the level in that state without just resetting the game. Which of course you could do early on, as like, it's only a few minutes lost, but still. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Nice. Again, just a single hit, and we're gonna expect a lot of that, as long as we're not past the red gate specifically, or past the jungle, I would say. Like that is really where you can expect some tougher enemies. Well, no wait, we already did this one, remember? Okay. Now this one should be fine. Like most of the time in this challenge is spent in loading screens and advertisements. Because, well, the time in levels, as you can see, is not going to be that much when you've got an AoE attack. But that's the nice thing about Chuck. He just takes out everyone, just bam, like that. Whereas with Red, even if he's very leveled, he can still only hit one enemy. Maybe two if you have like, the chain attack, right? But that's still quite a bit slower if you've got 5 enemies or more. No, even if you just got 3 enemies, really. Because then, oh hey, that's guaranteed to be at least 2 hits. One of the nice things about Lightning Word though, was that you could just tap it and then it would do an attack. Its ally ability is to make it attack. So I know you could just repeat a different bird's move, but you know we're working with only one bird here. So yeah, we're just gonna have to make do with this. Now, there we go. Oh yeah, that's also one of the things that the knights, they can be pretty annoying if you have an AoE unit or if you have a multi-attack unit, because they tend to have, you know, lower damage per attack, and the knights, they actually take, I think it's half damage if you're only with one. No, they only take half damage if the damage you deal in a single hit is less than the threshold they have to, you know, get the spell. No, I think it's called Ironclad. No, I can't be bothered to check it. I just want to move through the game now. But maybe a bit later in the challenge, you know, when things are slowing down anyway. Yeah, so far all the streams of Chuck were just like one stream and done. No, whereas with Red, because Red is just so slow with the single targeting that you can only take down one unit really. So then, in a single stream, that's just gonna be half the game. But with Chuck, so far, it's just one stream, and that's the full game, and you're done. That's there. Oh, you know, it's pretty clear why. Like Chuck is making plays, making moves. Like with Chuck, it's all good. We like Chuck, and we also like Bomb, especially in single wave. You know, like if there's multiple waves, then you can't like keep using the chili. But if it's just single wave, then boom, that's also eliminated right away. Right, then there's the blues. Now they have 2 AoEs in a sense. Because one is the Spice, which is just, you know, a straight up AoE, and another is the I don't know what it's called. The one that I've got selected right now. No, I can go and check actually. But they also have the ability to when they're attacked, do a counter attack. As does Bomb, by the way, actually, now that I think about it. Yes, Marksman. Now, let's see. Okay, we're all good, right? Yeah, okay, cool. first wave, you know, you think like, oh, enemies are gonna be a bit tougher. And indeed they were when you first got there, but also, you know, it's the first castle, so the game is gonna be pretty nice to you, pretty kind. You know, they're gonna chill. They're not gonna be they're not gonna make things too tough on you. Like really, when it came to the overworld, I never really got stuck, except for Castle 5 and the first wave of Castle 6. Like, they really were tough. But other than that, when it comes to the overworld levels, you know, it's just, if you get a basic bit of brain cells going, then you can just strategize and just progress quite nicely. And there we go. That is the Prince Porky done. Which, fun fact, is actually Ross from Bad Piggies. I bet you didn't know that, did you? Yeah, you can tell by the freckles, but also like it's been confirmed in some way. Because if I understood the canon of this game correctly, it's like a story, as in like in universe, it's just a story, or it's just playing, which is kind of funny. I was like, they have a bunch of wacky stuff that's just like that, but here it needs to be just a story, even within universe. For some reason, this is just too insane to have like a solid canon, so it needs to like add an extra layer of separation for some reason. I don't know, it's kind of silly when you think about it. But yeah, so far it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. And now we go to these levels. Now this is later in the game when you want. I think it's that part of the ship have been stolen. And then you need to go and recover them so that Bond can repair the ship, so he can actually give chase on the water to save the Blues. You know, Jim, Jake, and Jay. Again, if I recall correctly. This music, it takes me back. It's some good music. Now here we also get some wizards. Oh, well, that is just goofy. Come on now. Come on. Yeah, see, like Angry Birds 2, that is another one of their slot games. And also the numbering doesn't really make sense, because you have like 10 Angry Birds before that, maybe more. So, it's like, oh yeah, maybe because it's like the new generation, but again, it's one of their slot games, so it's kind of a shame that like at least just give it a sort of original name instead of just being like, oh, 2. At least Angry Birds Space at Space, then some of the collab games like Star Wars, you know, the Star Wars. Stella, that focused on the character Stella, which is the one that blows bubbles in the original, like Angry Birds Classic. But then there's also a character named Bubbles. So I still think that's kind of a weird naming convention. Like just like, I don't know, swap something around about how they work and with their name. Just make the one that blows bubbles be named Bubbles. Yeah, yes, Angry Birds. It's indeed been a while. I don't know how long it's been, but well, at least a month because of the event. But I'm pretty sure that also a little bit before that I didn't really stream this game. But yeah, you know, we still have a challenge to complete. And it's a pretty slow challenge, but we are progressing. Stream by stream, class by class. And also nice to see you again. You've been well, you know, if your day was fun. I don't know if the weather is also warming up where you are, but regardless, I do hope that you're managing with whatever the weather is. Okay, so this one's got multiple ways, but that still shouldn't be an issue because each wave is still a oh. Alright, but this is of course because they're past the gate now, so you get some tougher enemies. And they were still taken out in one turn due to the poison effect. The weather is fine, but you've had construction work on the house. I hope it's nothing too serious. That's just maintenance. That if it is serious, that does get fixed quickly. And you're just a competent crew and something that's also something that can be fixed quickly in the first place. But yeah, no, I do hope that goes well. So many loading screens. And still taken out in a single hit. Nice, nice. Yeah, because here the starting damage is a bit lower, but then the trade-off is that at the end of the turn they take some extra damage, and that effect stays for a few turns. Now it's like instant damage versus status effects. And some are better against some enemies, and some are better against others. Not that it matters too much here, because here we're just taking this one class through every level that we can. And I do know that before the challenge, or even early on, I was considering also just seeing how far they could get in the cave. But, you know, sanity kicked in and it was like, okay, it's very clear that doing this overall thing is taking so long already. We should not, under any circumstance, go and add things onto that. Ooh, okay, still single. Nice, nice. I do hope that the sun goes down quickly so that things can actually start cooling off. And now we're past the red gate, where things could get a bit, well, let's say dicey. Okay, we're gonna start with our rage ability and see if that is sufficient in dispatching the main threat. Yes. Okay, and now how much do we heal? Okay, 1000. Okay, so we can slow down a bit, but I think, okay, so now it's probably gonna be one more turn unless, okay. Well, it's not looking too hot, I have to say. Okay, well, you know, at least we got him down to 6k, but if we would just do hits instead of healing, we probably wouldn't end up that much better. I mean, we can try, but 6k, that is still quite a bit of health. So again, we're gonna start with the rage, because that's, okay, you know, you get rid of most of the enemies already. And then we hit, and then we get hit, and yeah, no, I think this one is even worse. Yeah, way worse. Okay, well that's that. Honestly, for this one I don't even need to pull up the Excel file because, like, I know this one is infamous. Many of the entries, if not all, have this one listed as one of the levels that we could not do. And, you know, seeing it becomes obvious why. But they are just so insanely powerful. Okay. Right. Well, you need to charge up your attack. So we are gonna be fine anyway. But now the question is, how do these weigh? Ooh, money. Nice. Okay, can we take them out in one turn? Okay, close enough. So, okay, but at least they do so little damage. We can heal, because that's one of the nice things about Reindeer. It's a healer, and it's the first healer in this entire challenge. So that's pretty neat, especially if you've got enemies that you just barely didn't defeat. Because then it helps to buy you that time to get rid of them and with the rest. There we go. Pretty neat. Ending at nearly full health. Oh, you don't see that a lot in this challenge once you get past a certain point. And I'm pretty sure that the healing ability is definitely going to carry. Dun, 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 dun. But hey, you know, who knows, right? I will keep note of the levels that we cannot complete, and then we can also compare to see if it's better or worse than the ones than the other classes, or at least the other classes for sure. I think the weird thing is that here like you get a really tough level, then you get a milder level, and then you just get a level where where they're back to normal equivalent scaling instead of acting like they're enemies behind the red gate. Because the red gate that's late game, or at least if you're only counting the overworld, because that's after the 6th castle. So that's literally just after you've done the main campaign already. So yeah, that's you would expect the enemies to be stronger there, because well, you need to be leveled to get past that. Yeah, I guess technically you could use Mighty Eagle, but that's stupid, you know. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to talk about other than the live gameplay, so I just kinda gets to the themes. Also because the themes are like really good, you know. Like the person that did the music here knew what he was doing. I'll just say that. Alright. Alright, then. Yes, you know, now that I see those pigs with the fly swatters, it's also one of the things that makes me very happy that I have AoE, because those have a little stun chance. So you actually need to worry about, oh hey, you need to prioritize an enemy. but if you do equal damage to everyone, then you know there's no reason to prioritize one over the other. You would just do one and just take them out, and that's it, right? Oh, okay, we're back to a wave level. Come to think of it, I do have some things to talk about, right? Because yesterday I downloaded the new Genshin patch, and well, I mean, like first I just did the normal daily commission in Inazuma for an achievement. I did it again today to actually do the other part, so that I would get the achievement. So yeah, cool, I have an achievement now. But also, there's this sort of side questy thing. I mean, that was from the previous patch, but I hadn't finished it yet. Where there's one of the mages that has a few like small puzzles or challenges or whatever. And you can just visit and do those. But you need to wait a few days to unlock the next one. So that's why, you know, especially because I wasn't really playing regularly recently. But yeah, I did do the final one there, and then you just have to chill in an area. And she mentioned that that's like a unique site, but it's got the same architecture as a whole different area from the previous patch. Just like the Temple of Space and Time, if I remember the name correctly. And that's got like major lore significance. But yeah, it's kind of funny then once you've already done that one, you really like already explored it too, and you know, talked to other people there and whatever. That's like, oh wow, yeah, no, this is a site you probably wouldn't see again. And it's like, hey, you know, I literally got all the waypoints unlocked in that area. I can just teleport there, no problem. But like maybe Nicole doesn't know, because sometimes the game's a bit unclear in being like, oh hey, this character knows this amount of information about the things that you as the player have done. So, you know, maybe she really doesn't have a clue, but it's still funny, right? And what else? Alright, because after that I really did the new patch stuff, which was in Not Cry. And it did come with a free unlocked waypoint, but I just, you know, glided over. Fortunately, this one was in pretty reasonable range, so I didn't have to do any antics as I had to do with the previous time Not Cry got expanded, where I had to climb to the top of the Fatui facility, the design bureau or something. What the fuck? I don't know. Just someone being weird. Anyway, alright. So I had to climb to the top of the design bureau. Then on top of some floating rocks, you know, using character abilities that increase mobility. And then I also made sure that I have Ember in my party, because she decreases gliding stamina consumption. Then I also ate a dish for the gliding stamina, and I also used a gadget which gives you a bit of a boost vertical. So you're gliding, and then you get to go up a little bit every, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And it also restores a bit of your stamina. And then I also had to eat a stamina dish to just like recover stamina, and then I just about managed to make it, because I was like, no, I want to actually reach this area and not use the pre-unlocked waypoint. But fortunately with this newer patch it was way closer, it was way easier, it was just, you just glide over like it's any other normal gap in your exploration. So that was pretty convenient. But yeah, then you're in some sort of archipelago, a bit of the coast of the main Not Cry areas. And then you suddenly find Columbina, which is, I don't know how exactly it works, but like a moon goddess. And she was like relevant in the quest before that. But she wouldn't speak to us in this one. So you just follow, and then you find this old abandoned facility which is very similar to one in Natlan, which is like the nation that you visited before that, which has some with the dragon sovereigns. You even actually have to battle one of their constructs, so it's like a very clear callback, like, oh hey, these are related. This is the same ancient civilization. And then suddenly it turns out that this Columbina isn't the actual Columbina, and also it's the place you're exploring is actually a space station. But then one of the things that kind of made me laugh was the fact that Paimon, and that's your sort of sidekick, who just kind of hangs around and keeps yapping, because for some reason the protagonist himself doesn't really say much. But then, yeah, Paimon is like, whoa, that wasn't the real Columbina, it was an imposter. It's like, okay, imposter, space station, that, you know, like rocket launch site. So okay, you know, it's not quite the main Among Us map like Scout, but it's sort of like Mira HQ, right? So that was pretty funny. I was like, Among Us. I don't know if it was like an actual intended reference, or if it's just me being too silly for the game. But I did think it was funny. I did think it was pretty funny. But yeah, then... Oh, and also the sort of entity was a Kuhenki, I believe, which is a... I don't know, really. It's just some sort of entity that's full of moon-related energy, magic, and whatever. Okay, what? Okay, just give me a second. Okay, yeah. So we're alright. So this, but normally they're like bluish or purple or something like that. Oh, the annoying thing about these pirates is that they are immune to status effects, but I don't think we're gonna have much of strong pirates really, so shouldn't be an issue. I mean, like maybe late game, but then I think just another hit should be enough. But yeah, anyway, so normally these Kuhenki, they're like bluish or purplish or white, you know, just very soft and also pretty light colors, right? Also sort of ethereal vibes and all that. But this one was black, which is, you know, kind of the exact opposite. So it's like, okay, this is not your run of the mill. This is not your standard version of this species. And then it turns out that this is one that actually lived on the moon. Because I mean, like at the reveal of like, oh hey, this is not Columbina. That's when I went to bed because it was getting late. But then today I continued playing. Maybe when I find out, oh hey, it's actually on the moon. Because, you know, we keep exploring the facility and we give chase because, hey, what's up with this? We need to find out what this is all about. and that's when you actually like see the rocket station there. But then the security system goes haywire, and once you take out one of the mechanical constructs that's there to defend it, the facility initiates self-destruct. So then we enter the ship, and we just go on the launch, and then get a bit of lore, and it's like, oh hey, this entity forgot pretty much everything, but it still does want to. It wants to. What does it want again? Right, it still wants to go to the moon to do some mission, but it also forgot what that mission is. So that's also kind of shitty. And then we land on the moon, and you have some like the gravity is way different, but for some reason the gliding physics are fine. I do notice that the normal running also feels considerably slower, but that might also be because it's pretty barren, you know, and normally you have a bunch of items that give reference. You know, so maybe it's just like a trick of the eye, right? Oh yeah, that one actually did come with some pretty interesting puzzles, I do have to say. Ooh, let's see how many hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 even. Damn. You know, it was still pretty fun to check out the moon, to unlock the loot. But then on the map you see this circle, and that's one where you're safe most of the time. But if you step out of it, then it's no longer any sort of protected area, so you're just gonna have moonstorms, which you can't stay out in, right? And it's also, the effect is way quicker than, for example, the sheer cold effect in Dragon's Spine when you're on the mountains there. So yeah, that's really interesting actually. Also, I do think that the puzzles here were actually a bit more unique than some of the earlier ones. Because here you can actually harness some sort of energy, which you can then launch at certain objects to make them float. Which then can clear the path. Or you need to physically move sort of, I don't know, energy things. Energy balls. You need to physically roll them or launch them or whatever into some sort of receptacle to then actually power some things. And yeah, I did progress a little bit. You know, I checked out most of this crater that we were in, just to, you know, get the exploration done, so I don't have to revisit it. And only once, you know, there wasn't anything more to be done at that point, did I continue on the actual quest line, where I went underground. Oh right, because as we were going to land on the moon, the ship started falling apart. Kind of unsurprising, as it's been left in an abandoned facility for who knows how long. But yeah, so we had to go into the escape pods. And then, well, you know, player lands and is fine. Paimon lands and is fine. But this Kuhenki named, we find out later, but I'm just gonna get the name now, named Ninin or Ninin, is just going like out of sight. Then we find a hole in the ground where like that's where the pod crashed into an underground section of the facility. Oh, this one has a lot of help. But this is gonna take a while actually. But yeah, you know, underground facility. And you found that means captured by the automated systems. So now you have to go through, do a few puzzles. You don't really discover much, except that the architecture of these dragon sovereigns is all whack. Like the layout of this facility is too, but like it's insane, right? But then that was something. Yeah, okay, but then we find Freenin, and she tells us her name, and she also helps us interact with a certain like digital system there, so I can actually get some information. And then back to the surface, because there was still like one waypoint that I had to unlock there, which was like really high up and kind of inaccessible. And then he's still not there. Jesus, just there we go. But yeah, then I kind of had to stop playing because I happen to have a stream scheduled, as you might be aware. so then I don't know what's gonna happen there. I am expecting that we get to power up some of the other systems to be able to launch that higher waypoint, and that's gonna have some sort of story progression. And that there's going to be some way to expand the shield so that we can actually go and explore other areas on the moon's surface. And ideally, we find the real Columbina, who's apparently on the moon now. And with a bit of luck, we also find a way, you know, back to Teyvat. Because like gameplay wise, of course, you know, I could just teleport back to like collect my commissions and whatnot. But you know, like story wise, we are now disconnected from the ley lines and from Teyvat, so we shouldn't be able to use the waypoints. As you're only able to use them when you're connected to the ley lines. But also, like, only the player is able to use them, which is kind of funny. Yeah, now story-wise, we would be stuck on the moon. So I do wonder, like, how exactly it's gonna have us be able to travel back to Teyvat. You know, that's the Earth equivalent, basically. You know, just the normal planet. You know, with grass and seas and people and whatever. Just, you know, the normal place. You know, the one where 99.9% of the game takes place. You know, I guess like the Temple of Space is pretty significant. And I mean, there's also this rare teapot, which is like your pocket dimension. And must be one or two other things. So I had like 98%, 97%, but yeah, it's still well over 90% of the game is just in this Earth area. Oh, speaking of like planets and stuff, I do also want to stream Planet Crafter at some point, but I do want to finish Portal 2 first, because I already did Portal 1, so it's like, okay, you know, it's also relatively quick to do. You know, like should only be 2 streams, maybe 3, but at least when it comes to the main game. And it's like, okay, you know, like that's complete enough. But yeah, for Planet Crafter, we still have a bunch of posters to collect and really just decorative stuff. But then there's also actual new areas to explore, because there's still some of the moons that we can go to. Sorry, I know I'll have to see what's with that. And through the course of me just talking about stuff, we have just about completed this section of water, so we can start moving into the desert. Oh, the desert. Yeah, I do remember the Cactus Knight in the desert being kind of a pain when you first encounter him, and now he's just one shot because, well, you know, pretty low level. And unlike these, he's not immune to negative effects because he's a knight, and the knight units, so we already know what effect they have, because any character in the game can have only one passive effect. Some have none, by the way. Most have none, even. I'm pretty sure. But I guess, like, okay, are we talking about like unique units, or are we talking about, hey, the distribution of units? Yeah, either way, there's going to be a bunch that have no effect. You know, like for example here, nothing, and nothing, and nothing. Wheel. There we go. Ooh. Did he just survive that hit with like a handful of health left? And that's the most annoying. Like if they actually have like a visible bit of health left, then it's like, okay, fair enough, right? But if the health bar is visually empty, then you know that what they have is so little that it's by all means entirely insignificant. But at least, you know, that one is nice to take out your anger on. Yeah, the reason I don't just instant chili is because the chili is still a bit slower, and especially if there's only one enemy left, then, you know, it doing its turn and then attacking again is still quicker than a chili. Oh, look at these weak enemies. There we go. Bam. Instant, just boom. Nuked. Gone. Obliterated. Just the way we wanted. Yeah. Okay. There we go. So it's just my headphone cable. Now this one should also be easy enough. I know it was kind of a struggle with red. You know, like we could do chain attacks, but then we needed 2 of them within 3 turns, so that's pretty tricky, but still doable, right? But then with Chuck, it's just bam. Okay, cool. End of story. I still haven't done the alpha pick. It's like kind of sorta impossible. Like, yeah, technically you can do it, but like in practice, yeah, not really. Yeah, no. I think indeed, like waiting for an actual turn would probably be longer than the chili. But waiting for the extra damage to set in. As you can see, that's still pretty quick. But yeah, I think there was something more interesting to say about this game, or about Genshin, which I just talked about. Seen a new Planet Crafter and Portal, and then I don't know. Oh yeah, right. So now that I do finally have a drawing tablet, I I do intend to make use of that by working on my, brand imaging stuff. So like banners, profile pictures. But I do want the profile picture to be based on the model. So then, before I can get to the profile pictures, I do still have to do the model first. But like banners, that's gonna be a bit of a different style, so I can do that. Maybe some emotes. That I don't know. Right, and I'm also considering to have like a little sort of fan creature that a lot of VTubers have. Like when I first was like, oh, let's be a VTuber instead of just faceless. I didn't really consider that, but now, like, I don't know, the idea is starting to grow on me. Maybe also like some sort of nickname for the chat. But that would probably also be a bit later. Like first the things that I actually do have to do, because it's kind of messy and inconsistent with my logos and banners and everything. I do want to get that fixed up first, and then when that's done, we can do potential other steps. Okay, nice. Hey, we've been streaming for almost an hour. Wow. Now, let's see. Are these enemies still gonna be weak enough? Yeah, nice. Oh! And there we go. We have the first enemy in a normal level that takes like, multiple hits without it being some sort of boss level. And I guess like normal level already signifies that, but just be extra clear, right? Oh, I also really do like the star sound in Star Wars specifically. There's just something really epic about the way they do that. Oh, and I've also got almost the entire soundboard done there. I mean, it's kind of happens naturally because it's tied to progression, and there's some with getting all the stars. And I think someone's like unlocking this secret chapter, but of course if you do want all the stars, then of course you're gonna unlock that chapter so that you can also do the levels there to get the stars there. And I've actually also been mapping out like okay, so this soundboard, what's the layout? Alright, and I've also been thinking about continuing my 3-star score spreadsheet for all the Angry Birds games that clearly were all the slingshot Angry Birds games. Here we're just gonna do the chili just in case, like you might take a see, like he's putting up a fight, Or well, at least he tries to, right? It's the thought that counts. It's the effort. Yeah, Stinky Standy, you are so silly. Well, someone is rearranging the kitchen. It sounds like, but yeah, it does sound like they're fine. So. Cool, let's see. You probably need that chili, don't you? Because this is behind the gate, and yeah. Like only 2 hits, but there, having the one be like, oh my god, I'm gonna do my magic stuff, and the other one doing, oh, I'm gonna do my different type of magic stuff. Because one of them is a shaman, and the other one is just a wizard. They're both gonna do magic stuff. And that's slowing us down. Now once we've dispatched these, we can just go back onto the main path. After we deal with the worst enemy in this game, advertisements. There we go. Just should be 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I guess correct. And again, like maybe the poison damage would be enough, but yeah, I don't wanna go and find out. Oh, also, today I watched RT play 007 First Light. I watched his final main video, and that game is pretty neat, you know, and does go for some cool things. But I also do think that it's kind of stupid how like other characters, like if they get injuries they last, but then the player just heals within seconds. And now I understand that from a gameplay perspective, of course, you're right. That way the game is playable at all. but still, like it is kind of goofy. Though I do gotta say that the story, I am gonna be saying spoilers now. That the story is kind of cool, where like the villain is the tech bros, and the AI is not evil, it is just stupid. Like, wow, hey, it's pretty realistic. Oh, alright, there were also like a few jokes in there which were pretty funny. Like there's one where we have to go around and it's, you know, on the outside of an Arctic facility, and then as you're going around to find a different way in, a bit of ice crumbles beneath you, and there's two guards a little bit away, but you're out of sight, right? And then one's like, huh, what was that? And the other, climate change. What? Too soon? And I thought it was really funny. I think that's like a pretty good quip. Also, Loki, it was kind of better than most of the jokes that Bond made. I mean, he made some good ones, don't get me wrong. But still, right? But still. Anyways, right now we are taking out Indiana Jones. Wait, no, I mean Legally Distinct, so Piggiana Jones or whatever. Obvious reference is obvious. Wow, who would have thought? I mean, that's kind of how references work, but you know, like sometimes they're a bit sneakier, sometimes they're a bit more subtle. Oh yeah, and there was also this part in the video where Bond asks someone where some part of some vacation resort is, except there's just one thing, and that's the moment that he asks that, he is standing right next to a sign that also has that location specified. so, which is also like entirely in view, by the way. And the person he's asking just points at the sign aggressively. No, it doesn't even say anything, just points at the sign aggressively. Like, can you not read? Are you stupid? It is right there. Yeah, you can kind of imagine what he was thinking, because again, he didn't speak. Oh, and also this really cool chase sequence with this massive truck in a marble quarry, and a lot of explosions. Like, this game really loves its explosions. Like, basically, this is like your average Bond film, except how insanely everything it is. Like how flashy, how intense, how well, how violent. It is just cranked up to 11, right? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and also like had this really nice sort of hook at the end for a continuation of the story. I mean, I guess the basic premise it all already opens continuation of the story, because like, hey, you're MI6, so of course there's always gonna be something or someone that needs to be dealt with. But here they also like put in the effort to very specifically, you know, put in at least to continue the story. So you know that, yeah, I think that's pretty neat. And also a bunch of other Bond fans in the comments also really said that they thought the studio did a good job. Also because like it was serious when it needed to be, but it also had the right amount of just, you know, stupid jokes, silly moments. As a matter of fact, the hardest QTE in the entire game is not during one of the fights, and it's not starting a vehicle or hacking some mainframe or anything like that. It's putting on a bow tie. the hardest QTE in the entire game is for putting on a bow tie. It's just the right amount of comedy. And one of the things that I did think was kind of stupid, like, where it was like, okay, it was on the level of somehow Palpatine survived, you know, like that kind of bullshit. Because you had a main villain who was already like beaten up pretty badly, then knocked onto scaffolding, which was also still pretty high up, and then I saw the cutscene, right? Yeah, because then once he's knocked onto the scaffolding, you get a cutscene, and you just see Bond standing above there, like, oh, sort of on the cliffside, and there's this container next to him with this very clear, visible lever, and it's like right on the edge. And indeed, at the end of the cutscene, Bond pulls that lever, and a bunch of heavy metal pipes fall down, and hit the villain, right? And like, he's already in pretty rough shape, so you're like, okay, now he's definitely dead, especially because like pretty high up, like. And I don't know if it shows the scaffolding collapsing, but at the very least you'd imagine that would happen. And then an hour of gameplay later, guess who reappears? Having some sort of cybernetic upgrade. Like, it's just a bit. It's just like that was a bit too much. You know, I think they could have done something better with that. But I did still really like how like 20 seconds in advance you could already see how the cutscene was going to end. Because the moment I saw that, I was already like, pull the lever, pull the lever, pull the lever, Bond, pull the lever, pull the lever. And also imagining like the one from the one film, you know, the pull the lever Kronk, but then instead of Kronk it's Bond. So pull the lever, Bond. Yeah. So it was really satisfying, but when he did finally do that, and then just. Like I'm already thinking of making a meme about that, where it's just the metal pipe falling sound effects. Just ding ding ding. You know the one. You know the one. It's one that's used quite a lot. It's pretty much just an iconic sound. And there we have even more cliff. Cool. But yeah, overall, like I just watching the game. It was pretty fun. Yeah, and they're I don't know, they're yes, right. One of the commons who also had this really clever idea for putting an RT reference in the next game. There's like it's a race car driver named RT Daniels. Because you know like RT and RT, right? Like one is just the letters and one's like the actual name, and then Daniels because his name is Daniel. And then race car driver because you know he used to call him the Drift King. You know, just something like that. And I thought, hey, you know, like it feels pretty natural. You know, there's definitely some way to work that into the game. Like I thought it was a pretty good idea. And pretty funny also. Now I do think it's interesting how here we also have the background with the light ring. When we know that this whole area is just gonna be undead. I mean, better safe than sorry, I guess, but it just feels a bit goofy. Now to be fair, like we do have, like, I mean, like no, these are also like all undead. Yeah, and here's also where it becomes a bit clearer that even in universe this game is just kind of playing, because that Frankenstein is very clearly just wearing a hat. Well, that was quick. I still remember the struggles with Red. So it is very nice specifically to hit these undead levels. You can just have no issue with them. Just, yeah, there we go. It's the undead. And now they're just dead. And like not really, as there's multiple enemies that, you know, survive the battles. Most specifically the main bosses, you know, King Pig, Prince Porky, and Whizpig. So to be fair, like maybe story-wise he actually dies at the end, but I don't know. I do actually wonder if the Chronicle Cave also has a role in the story, or if it's just a challenge mode where you shouldn't put any thought into it. Because like one of the allies you can have is now Prince Porky, know, that yeah, if they're fighting against that, then that's treason. Especially because some of them are even nice. So that's something to think about. I mean, like maybe it has been confirmed one way or another. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, instant kill. There we go. Cool. And I guess not instant because you have to wait for the effect to set in. But yeah, it's pretty much instant. Like if it's only then one turn, that one attack, and the end of turn things, then you know that's good enough. That's good enough. At least as far as I'm concerned. Oh yeah, and once, well, if I actually manage to beat Alpha Pig, I do also want to revisit the Cave 23 boss, because he is because he was one that I could only beat by throwing the whatchamacallit, the mighty eagle at him, because I still had one left. You know, and then Cave 24, and that one was just fine, and 25. Even if I had any of them left, I can't use it, because it's a duel of honor. Which means no potions. What I can use is the video boost, and a glitch to get an ally, because you're not supposed to have an ally in that level. Dun, 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 dun. Now we just it didn't even follow the path. It just went straight up through the rocks. Just me. Oh, this game is so goofy at times. What a game! What a game! Okay, now so duel of honor. No potions, so you know you can't heal more. You can't boost your chili, and you definitely can't just instant wipe the level. It was really there to make it that before you get to the final cave, no shortcuts, because like he's the final one there, right? Like after that, you have the final cave, and well, I don't know how the other levels are, but then also the final boss there to they actually complete things. Also, again, it's the Duel of Honor. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I've been thinking about something that I tried once in this game, which was counter chaining. So you know, I set up a counter on one unit, and I attacked an enemy unit with counter, but unfortunately there is no such thing as counter chaining in this game. It's a bit disappointing, but I do understand that. You know, it makes sense to make it that only one would activate. Okay, and after this level, is there still another one, or is that just gonna be a dojo? I don't know, but well, we're just gonna have to see, right? We're just gonna have to see. Whee! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, right. So this is one of the sites where you actually have to collect plane parts to get your airship to actually be able to continue after beating the ninjas. Or at least like completing Bamboo Forest. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, when I have finished Bamboo Forest, I will take a small break for a few minutes to get some water and some food because I did not have dinner yet. Like I didn't really know what to do with that was. You know, and like when you live with other people, and like it's also not a good idea to just just make your own plans, right? So yeah, so I'll just be getting a little something in, just to be able to do the rest of the stream, and then after that, like when I'm actually done with stream, I'm just gonna have a proper meal. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, what are the wildlings doing here? Like that's... I mean, I guess it makes sense if enemies from like the previous areas. Like, oh, hey, this is cool and stuff. Cool. Well, so far it's all just one turn hits. Pretty neat, pretty nice, pretty good. Is that a staircase in the background? I never even noticed that. So you're telling me this goes even higher? Oh yeah, okay. Maybe that's... Like, of course, it's the final boss. I could do a bit more damage. Though I do also think that maybe the one hit and the poison would have been enough. Ah well, you gotta go extra, right? Just to look cool. And now we go here. And we are officially into the Bamboo Forest. Now this is an area that did have a few failure levels for some of the other classes. Now let's see how Chuck fares. Let's see, is a single hit enough? Yeah, it is. just instantly gone. Don't even have to wait. Don't even have to wait for the other things to set in. It's just bam. I do wonder if that's an extra effect. Like, I don't know if it was critical or chain attack. I do wonder if that is calculated per enemy when you're with Chuck. Or if it just calculates how many total and then prioritizes specific enemies, like the higher health ones, for example. Oh. This could be tough. Unless... Okay. Like the one ace up our sleeve that we have, of course, is that we can heal. And that maybe our overall damage is a bit higher. Yeah, okay, let's see. Is that gonna... Right, because we don't want him to boost his attack, right? Because then we're screwed. And then here we're just gonna do this, right? Cool. Yeah, like single attack units would struggle here, even if they got decent health pool and decent damage, because there's so many enemies. But Chuck goes through and just wipes the floor with them, right? Just, hey, there we go. That's the end. Mm. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, like, it could have been 5 without the criticals, but you know, then that would still be within the chili's power. And if that wouldn't have done it, then there's also the fact that the poison would take its effect. So either way, we're pretty cool. I like chillin'. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now these ones should also be single hits, right? Yeah, there we go. Just as expected. Just as anticipated. And then we spinny the wheel for a bunch of loot that we don't need. Like it really would be decent if they would have, you know, not removed the events for no reason. And not messed with the calendar for no reason. Because like you have your coin thing, you can have that running, so why not just the other items? You just have it automatically loop the same things. Just, you know, it's very easy to just keep the game working as it should, but hey, that's not how companies work, I guess. At the very least, it's still the basic things are still working, so that's something. And there we go. That is a pretty decent progression. But yeah, or for example, even when the game was just normally up, make us trade excess resources for money. And that can be at a worse exchange rate than doing the opposite, right? And silvers can also be used to buy gold. And again, at a worse exchange rate, that's fine. I know, 100 silver for 1 gold. 1,000 maybe, if you wanna get excessive. Because then I could buy that one premium class that you kind of need to really stand a shot at the end of the game. So again, we're not even there. We still need to deal with Alpha Pig. So that's a little bit of a thing. But you know, like it's going pretty smoothly. I've been seeing so many people talking about the Angry Birds movie on Twitter. Where the hell did these people come from? Well, Twitter, I guess. But is there something special about that? Because, like, oh, if there's any sort of major release, like even whether it's a film or a game, I hear that there's a lot of talk about pretty much anything on Twitter. Mostly people complaining about stuff. and you know, like, Angry Birds is a pretty established franchise, and especially the films, they also meant to pull like a whole different audience, and that's also been a few years back. So now, well, I guess they figured out the entire film is just on YouTube. That could also be kind of a major contributing factor. You know, if it's more accessible, then you're gonna have more people that find it. Especially when it comes to people that don't want to, you know, go the risky paths to find things that they don't have the actual like legitimate copies of, right? So I guess it does make sense. Especially considering that most of them are probably still gonna be children, or they're gonna be young adults. So if you end up finishing that transport month thing you were doing, that was neat. Wish I'd been able to catch more of those streams. Yes, I finished last week. Right, it was 32 days, and at the end of the 32 days, it was done. I mean, like I did still make some posts about it, of like like full review and some interesting things. Like for example, I picked out the games that I thought had decent challenge run potential, whether it was just speed running or doing some sort of other thing. And also the ones that just were generally fun to replay even after that, or would be fun to replay. And well, I mean, like, if you're interested in any of the streams, I do have an old archive, but of course it's still a way different experience than actually being live. And yeah, it's also really nice to see you here, kind of. I also hope you're doing well. No, because hey, now it's live. Now we can just talk in the moment. I mean, like, yeah, of course there's a bit of chat delay, and there's still like I'm talking, and you're writing, but you get what I mean, right? Just a simple response, but still more interesting than just being like yes or okay. No, it would have been kind of funny if I was still at the pirate area, but yeah, now we're already at the ninjas. Yeah, there we go. So hey, kind of. So have you been up to anything interesting lately? Do you really enjoy streaming? I mean, like, yeah. I may not sound like too high energy, but I do have fun. I do have fun, especially when there's people around. But even if not, I'm still putting something out there, right? Maybe it's my own take on games, like when I'm doing a challenge. But even if it's just a normal gameplay, there's still something fun about it. Well, I suppose that's a bit of a silly question, considering you're still continuing to do it. I like, there's some that feel like they should, right? So the question itself, it is valid. Don't worry. Like of course it would be nice to have a bit more audience, but I also appreciate the ones that I already have. Yeah, that is short transfer defense. It was pretty cool, that the idea. I also think, but I don't know if I'll be doing something like that again soon, because like daily streams, even if most of them were pretty short, it does start to drain you a bit. Yeah, it would be nice. Not exactly any real way of getting massively successful on Twitch though. Seems like a lot of luck. Yeah, there's luck. There's also like the benefits of some people having a starting boost if they've got like a group of friends that they can convince to help them start up a bit, and that also makes things more attractive. Like if there's already some activity. But yeah, like even that's not a guarantee. And that like I'm also not really seeking to be massive and like have this like large community, but but just a few more would be nice, right? Just that there's some sense of like community rather than just some people. If that makes any sense. Ding ding. Like where it's like you actually feel like, oh hey, you actually managed to build something. It's commendable. If you had to stream every day, you'd probably get a bit deranged by the end. Yeah, it was rough. But I did manage to keep my sanity somehow. But just taking a break for what was it, 5 days or so, was very conscious. It was like, okay, yeah, no, I need to just stop now. I need to have my brain like set itself back into order, and then after that, I'm also not gonna plan anything right now. I'm just gonna wait until next week, which it is now, because now it's this week, and now it's the next week of previous week. That's how time works and all that. And then I was like, okay, cool. Sorry, then I've recovered a bit. I'm also just doing a bunch of things that aren't as draining, because again, like something can be fun, but still draining, right? So I did some things that were fun, but not draining, and now I'm just here, and also keeping it light with only 3 streams, right? And it's like, okay, like when I'm in full swing with uni and all that, then 2 streams. So doing 3 streams, well, other than that, I'm pretty much free. That's like keeping it mild enough, right? Making sure that I do manage to get enough rest. But also do have time for other things related to content creation or my community. Because it's not just streaming, yeah. Like lately I did some improvements to my server. I added the Wordle channel. I added some role colors, including one for myself, so that I stand out. It's like, oh hey, look, it's me, it's the head of the community. But also that normal users also have some sort of color, because that just looks a bit better than if just everyone's grey, right? A bit of aesthetic appeal, but also like cleaning up channels a bit, so that's all got a bit of a neater, like cleaner look, right? But then another part of the content creation is of course my YouTube, and then not just the stream archive, but also I do actually make videos sometimes, if you'd like to believe it. And though it's been a bit difficult, I do manage to roughly average the 1 video per month that I intend. Even if there was one where it was almost 2 months without. But then I did have some uploads closer together, so then it's sort of evens out again, right? Ah, speaking of, like I do have local backups on my PC for the videos. Not the vaults, because that's way too much storage space. But the normal videos I do, and I do think that needs updating. Oh, and of course, like other storage on my PC, you know, assets, scripts, that sort of thing. Because it does always tend to get a bit disorganized after a while. So then I need to sit down and be like, okay, do I need to create new folders, or do I just need to move things? Do I have any double documents or redundant ones? There are some where like information can be merged into one file, for example. Yeah, I do make sure that I do the checks that I need to like keep things a bit in order and go clean. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting life development. I managed to secure a room so that I will be living a bit closer to uni. So you know, it's like gonna take a bit of time to move and to adjust. Plus also like adjusting to the new school year, like you know, that's gonna be a bit different. Still didn't get any like, information on whether we also get like a first year certificate or if it's only at the end of the study. You know, it's like a bit annoying because like we've had the results for like a month now. Yeah, being closer will be nice, even if the whole moving process will be annoying. Yeah, you know, basically like moving, that's a bunch of time that you put in, right? But you put it in mostly in one go, maybe a few days to like also actually like redecorate stuff and I forgot the English word, inrichten. You know, just placing your furniture down and your stuff and getting everything set up. But then you'll have less time spent traveling, right? And if university isn't too demanding, and if the travel time decrease is, you know, like actually good enough, then you know, I will not just be able to, you know, do my daily streams and monthly videos. I mean 2 streams a week, not daily. No, 2 streams a week and a video a month. But yeah, I'm actually considering also getting a job. You know, I'll give it about 1 month to just get settled in, to see how that is, before, you know, I actually decide to go and see if I can get some earnings. Because yeah, it's a lot, uni. It's a lot. Employment, yeah. Well, like I've had jobs before, both paid and unpaid, official and unofficial. I've got quite the impressive resume, especially if you know how to phrase things. You know, like de facto rowing captain, you know, for example. Dun, 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 dun. Hire me, I'm literally the best when it comes to doing work. just any work. just Jobbington. You name it, and I can and will do it. Right. Well, how about no, Woofer, no. Let's not go too insane with the kind of spicy jokes and potential political references. You name it, and I cannot go into it. That does sound like it's a reference to some sort of like film or something. just a freaking coffin emote. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. Yeah. Dun, dun. Oh wait! Actually, I got one. How about you become the British VM and last longer than 1 year? See, that's light enough, right? That's light enough. That's tame. Nice little chili to take out the big pirate. And also the yellow triangle fish in the background, it just always keeps weirding me out. Like what's up with that? What's why? Ah, fuck, man, that's tough. I might not even be employed then. No, but yeah, on the topic of jobs, since after my studies I do intend to actually become a teacher. Like if I do some sort of job next to my studies, then I will be looking for any teaching related stuff before checking out other job offers. But again, like first I gotta get my things for my next year of uni, and I gotta move house, and I gotta get settled in both into the house and into the new study year, and only then, can I actually determine if I got a decent shot at also balancing the job next to that. So no, like all in due time. No, that sounds awesome. You thought about being a teacher before, but you just you just don't think you have quite a skill in keeping children from not murdering each other or yourself. Unless you mean like teaching people with fully developed brains. Well, I get it's. I mean, like in any case, not elementary. Definitely not. But other than that, I don't quite know where I want to go with that. But yeah, like still something about just teaching people English would be cool. But like being like at a university level teaching, that just feels like it would require too much skill and knowledge on the subject itself. So it's so like that also doesn't seem like quite the thing I'd like to go for. But yeah. Right, I don't know if you were there for that part of the stream, but I'm actually I actually got a drone tablet now. So then when I have a bit of time, then I'll actually be doing some banners and also redoing my PNG tour. The design will stay the same, but I'll just have it look better. At least like that's the idea. In practice, like who knows? Of course, if it's worse, then I just I'll still stick with this one. yeah, that's fair enough. You know, there's got to be a middle ground. Yeah, exactly. And even if that's not the case, just having a decent like university level kind of certification degree, whatever. It's also just, yeah, I think a solid asset in general. You know, because it shows like, oh hey, you know, you can commit to something, and you know the skills. What we change redrone a little after fella? Well, I'm thinking of shading, just a bit more detail overall. Having the line work be a bit nicer, and right, no, I already said more detail, didn't I? Oh, and also having the proportions be a little bit better. You know, but it's sort of like it's kind of something that you kind of just, you know, you have to kind of feel that as you're drawing it. But I do expect that it will be better, because you know, like this current iteration, it was made drawing with my mouse. So I think actually having like this more direct control that's more equivalent to, you know, drawing on paper should improve things at least a little bit. You know, like even if I'm not particularly skilled, it's you're still gonna benefit from, you know, having this more precise control. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. And with this, we've already done the first 4 castles. Like that's quite some nice progress, isn't it? Dun, 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 dun. And so I'm just thinking about like one of the earlier comments, and you're really only really available around these times, aren't you? Because you know, like it was daily streams, and I also think like usually if I stream in the afternoons, it's only a little bit later that you end up being able to drop by. So yeah, I guess that's also the nice thing about, you know, now that the event is over, that I will also have a bit more evening streams. So you know, that should allow a few more opportunities. Are you the maybe I am the type who makes these kinds of notes in my head about people. Yes, you know, like you know, like, you know, how often they visit, especially if they chat. You know, if they mention things about their lives, then I also do try to remember that. But you know, keyword being try. You know, like you know, I'm not some sort of magical genius. Yeah. You know, hey, if what kind of hobbies maybe. No, and that's not just for like people on stream, but also like in the Discord or people that I meet IRL. You know, just like if there's any reason to remember things. You know, like if it's people that I have any kind of interest in, even if it's just, oh hey, this is just a cool person, and I give it, or just, you know, for example, co-workers. You know, like back when I was working at a store, yeah, bunch of co-workers, you know, Also, what do you mean? Yeah, that checks out. Isn't it normal to, you know, if you if you know people to also know things about them, right? Like how they be, right? Because otherwise it's just like, well, you might know their name and then nothing. I mean, I guess like you see, what type? What type though? like, I would assume that that type is the vast majority of the population. Oh, you know. Oh, you know. The type. Yeah, no. I have a little bit of a suspicion, but I do believe that it was brought up before. Right, yeah, no, like, actually, I heard of talking about these notes. A month ago, I I actually had like sort of a special event stream, but it was really just like chatting, where I just went through my entire followers list and just, you know, said like the basics about them, like oh, what kind of chat activity they had, what kind of conversations, also like if they're often active or oh yeah, you were there for 5 minutes, you remember, yeah, and also like oh hey, like if I know them from somewhere else, like how that is. You know, like there's Viewed, and those are actually like, people that I watch. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Also, I do notice that you did not really like answer the question about like when you're like available to watch, when you're like able to watch streams. But I guess that's like it's sort of like a quiet confirmation, I suppose. So I'll just take it as that. but don't you think that went past me? I have ice. Well, people are usually busier in the mornings and afternoons, yeah. Did you just... Did you... Dude, did you just correct the word using the exact same spelling? You're not even changing anything. You're not even changing anything. Yeah. Busier. B-U-S-I-E-R. Oh no, actually, sorry. What I meant was B-U-S-I-E-R. Like, bro, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You couldn't tell if you were spelling it correctly the first time. Yeah, okay, but then, even if you'd correct it wrong, at least there'd be a difference. But here you're just repeating the same word. Oh, you're so silly. Did you know that? Oh, and so is the game. Yeah, well, it should be fine. This sucks, man. You just called out. You know, like again, as I was going to say, I got eyes and I got enough brain cells to be able to have some sort of thought process. That's also how I managed to pass this year, cum laude. Hell yeah! You know, that's like a pretty high achievement. Like you need to do really well on your on all the assessments, or I mean, like, on average on the assessments. But still, you need to do really well to actually get that. So, you know, I think it's pretty cool that I did manage to do that. Especially with all of the shit that was going on this year. And like, I'm not gonna go too into it, you know, like personal life and like limits of how much, you know, people get to know, of course. But like, oh, that was a fucking struggle. So I'm also like just really proud of myself for not just managing to pass like first try with all the subjects, all the credits, but to actually do it at such a high level too, despite everything. No, that's yeah. I do tend to like kind of beat myself up over things sometimes, but I do also like see when, oh, you know, credit where credit is due. Hey, you know, like, hey, oh, I actually did pretty well this time. Okay. I mean, I guess the character selection screen is kind of glitching out, but as long as it still works enough to operate, I'm not gonna be restarting the game. Dun, 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 dun. And oh, okay, so you actually took multiple hits, like not just the chili, and not just the poison after the chili, but actually another hit after that. Well, well. I guess that is a sign of things to come. I don't know if I actually did this level, so just in case, I'm just gonna do it. What kind of game would this even be? Like what are they advertising? How the hell is some sort of bubble pop game supposed to be that? Haven't played this game in a while. This S-Train one is really good though. I wouldn't imagine it would be for a South. Well, actually, it is pretty solid because you know you actually get to be doing damage even after your turn, so that you can actually do your ally ability. And this is also the only one so far that comes with healing abilities. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Like I have enough in-game cash to just buy everything. So yeah, so far Chuck's actually been managing really well, like above average. Nice. Okay. So over here we're also like we're still doing good. We're still doing good. And also like the fabric of reality is still good. Yeah, what is it with Rovio games and having a bunch of bugs or like the fabric of reality breaks? Because of course you've got Angry Birds Epic here, right? And now this really only happens when you play the game for like more than an hour straight, or like close to 2 hours maybe. And it could also be related to doing all the different levels instead of just sticking with a few. So you know this doesn't happen too often. But then there's also Bad Piggies, which actually has pretty common game-breaking bugs, where like the reality itself falls apart, and that's just with the plunger. Like it's pretty much any case you use the plunger where it doesn't just normally grab onto a surface, reality will fall apart, and potentially your pig just it just disappears along with its contraption, nowhere to be found. the human mind wasn't intended to handle Angry Birds Epic for 2 hours straight. Yeah, No, maybe instead of the event, I should have played Angry Birds Epic during June. Because then it wouldn't be 2 hours straight. It would be 2 hours gay. I really do like my own sense of humor a bit too much, don't I? I mean, like, you are your own best audience after all. You know, like, hey, you know the kinds of things you want. Yeah. Okay, so now we can actually see that the reality is also starting to fall apart within the levels. Oh, this reminds me of the one Pokemon movie. I did mention it before because, well, you know, just things remind me of that. But it's where Angry Birds gay, like it's one Angry Birds 2. The what? Are you telling me that there's actually an episode where where the birds become gay? Oh, that's funny. Where was I? Oh, right, yes, Pokemon. Okay, so there's this, there's some, yeah, a little bit of words and stuff. So there's this one Pokemon film where Ash has to climb some sort of clock tower. That's like, well, reality itself is just falling apart, and right, and where reality is falling apart, and he just well, okay, kind of like is happening in game right now. Okay, but they still take damage, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. And there's also like a bunch of like things now then become difficult because oh hey, your staircase isn't actually there properly now. And that has something to do with one of the Pokemon that's like an actual god or something like major in the nature of existence itself and all that. Okay, I do think right now is when we go for the heal. It's not the Entei one, is it? I have no clue, and I think I watched that like a decade ago, maybe more. Okay, come on, Chuck, heal. Yes, good. But I just know that was really trippy. I don't know if it's the same one or if it's a different one. There's also one with like time travel, and I'm pretty sure there was some sort of paradox, which was like quite the thing to throw into a kids movie, like complex quantum mechanics and whatnot. But you know, it was a decision they made. Yeah. Now we do this. And now we're chill. Right. Where that's about where my Pokemon anime knowledge ends. So I am clueless outside of the games, really. Yeah, it's like I watch those films and I know like the basic premise, but the details, I don't know, they escape me. And like the only one that I sort of recall well, because I actually watched that one sort of recently, is Detective Pikachu. But yeah, when it comes to Pokemon, I don't really know the games. I really just know the show, specifically the one in Kanto. You know, when Ash first gets freaking evicted by his own family, and it's like, hey, the normal Pokemon have already been taken. Here, just take this random red that we don't want. Oh, right. I can't use the chili because of that. I mean, don't mind the game falling apart. It's still alright, right? It's still alright. Okay, we take a hit, and we're gonna be fine. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see. I do wonder how it's gonna behave when uh, we get to the wheel. Okay, that's not too bad, right? Oh hey, that's an item that, you know, we can't even access. This is such a weird bug. Like I don't even understand how it happens. Like, it's scrambling the things that are there, sure, but just a bunch of stuff, and then also to give it an orientation. Like that's a bit more complicated than just like pulling from the wrong part of a sprite sheet, right? This game is kind of broken. Okay, just do the shitty. I mean, like, it can actually register the hit. Oh, right, it's a pirate, so it's immune to the... Ah, right, of course. Okay, now see, this is one where this one might not fare too well, because the effect doesn't apply, because the pirates have the Dirty Tricks perk, which makes them immune. Oh, they do like no damage. Okay, never mind. We're fine. We're chill. We're cool. Are you serious? No. Come on. Listen. Show me. Okay, it's kind of broken, so I can't actually see how much health he has. But we're gonna be fine, right? Okay, see, and now we actually have time to heal. You guys remember when Chuck destroyed the fabric of reality? Yeah, you know, it's like, as long as the game is sort of playable, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, it's probably just textures, right? As long as it doesn't mess up like actual gameplay detection, it's fine. Okay, and now we're gonna use the chili. But do you think this was Chuck's doing? Or do you think that maybe the pigs are just doing a sort of like kamikaze move to take down the birds once and for all? How Rovio intended the game to be played. Yeah, surely this must be the secret ending. You know, it's like after you've done the normal campaign, if you go back through the entire game using Chuck and you keep it in one session, then reality will start to break apart once you're exiting the ice section, and after that you just have to keep playing until the entire game disappears. And wait, did it stabilize? They got the foundation up in here with the Scranton reality anchors. The SCP Foundation was notified of anomalous activity and got their mobile task force on this right away to stabilize Bird Island. Oh no, the human levels are dropping. In case you didn't know, because it's like kind of an obscure reference, humans are like sort of you know how Lumen is like light level. Why is there minus 965 on the screen? Okay, and humans, that is sort of like levels of reality, like how stable reality is. And well, you know, here reality is kind of falling apart. Yeah. So then the Scranton reality anchors are there too. You won. You got minus 965. Oh, imagine. I mean, like, to be fair, as long as it's just the silvers, you're fine. And like, if it's the goldens, then if you're at negative coins, then it might not register things properly anymore. So then I might actually be able to buy all the stuff. There, yeah. No, this is as it's supposed to be, right? This is what the game is meant to do. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna push this game to its limit, right? It's like, as long as it takes the inputs, I I absolutely know nothing about SCP, but you read a few of those little stories. They're cool. They're good vibes. Yeah, that's a nice thing. It's yeah, you can really like once you got the basic ID, most of them work pretty well as just standalone things. So you don't really need to know much about like extended things. And in a lot of the cases where you do, that they will have footnotes that will explain things. Yeah, like I think there was one with indeed like the Scranton reality anchors and the humans, and that was actually the basic premise of those was explained in the article. But yeah, SCP is pretty cool. Okay, see, I just need to know the locations of things on the screen, which I got down pretty well right now, especially if there's like something to reference. And then it just works. It just works. Dun, 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 dun. I said it works. Okay, and it works. Good. Wait, no. Okay, back to the island. Because we did not disable material. Okay, that's not meant to happen. Okay, yeah, the game just like entirely crashed, which does not usually happen. it just self-destructed. It was like, okay, yeah, no, we're not liking this. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I'm just waiting for things to start up properly before I enable the capture again. Okay. There we go. Oh, I see. So I disabled Red and then I enabled Matilda because we're past the friendship gate. Oh, okay. Let me just fix this. There we go. Okay, and we just do the shake. Ooh, those might actually be pretty. Okay, no, they're cool. They're cool. They're still chilling. Oh no, it's these. Because then they're gonna keep healing and limiting the damage, and god, that's annoying. Oh, okay, but this one, we actually do more damage than that they heal. So surely we should be fine. We should be able to knock down their systems soon enough, right? Come on, game. Come on. Just work with me here. There we go. Cool. Ah, well, two can play that game. Yeah, and now I'm just taking the hits, and then once we get the chili, we just destroy him. Oh, you're gonna heal for like 2,000? I'm gonna tell you to stop doing that. Now you're no longer being saved by the other healing effect. You just gotta do it yourself. Which, spoiler alert, you can't. Yeah, nice. We got him. We got him. We got him good, even. We got him good. Right, we were pretty close to the end of the game, really. Like it's the sea, the burrows, the city, and the mountain. Yeah, because like these few levels, they don't really count. Like it's only a few levels. I think we just do the chili. Because these are gonna be beefed up, right? Yeah. Those are pretty. Okay, well at least we managed to take out the small ones. Which means that, you know, as long as this one can't take us out in one go, we are fine. Also, the nice thing is it's not a brute, so we can keep attacking, because well, I mean, like, it is a brute, it's not a wildling, so we can keep attacking, because that won't give him a damage boost. And hopefully the game does not self-destruct. Okay, now this one, I don't know if it's taken out everyone, but it's a pretty strong one. I think maybe once we like get the next thing, I don't know how strong these are gonna be and what the best strategy will be. But again, like, it might simply be impossible to get these ones. Okay. I see. Noted. Duly noted. Okay, so they do 5,000 damage if you actually keep attacking them. What if you don't? How do they act then? Okay, so we do this. So how much health do we have total? Oh, only like 52, so that's pretty bad. Okay, can we heal? Yes. Good. Worth it? Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. You know, like actually is a bit weaker, so. Oh, it stuns us for a turn. Oh, okay. I did not account for the fact that it stuns us. Just one more time. We're gonna only do one attack to them. No, we're not gonna do attacks to them, because that's gonna boost our chili too much, and I don't know. Just see what this does. Just go and see what this does, right? We just go and see. We just go and see. Okay. So we start getting a bunch of damage in. 26,000. That's quite a lot. That's a bit like on the level of that one guy past the red gate. Okay. And we just heal, right? We just heal. We just sit back, relax, take the hit. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so they literally just completely destroy us. Regardless of what we do. Yeah, no, okay, I'm seeing this one as a certified loss. But again, this is one of the ones that's established as being an issue level. And this one should be entirely fine, because despite the high score, they're really not that strong. You know, like sometimes that power system really makes no sense with how they're ranking stuff. Okay, now let's just heal. I mean, I probably should just go for the attack now. Yeah, okay. Oh well. Level done regardless, yeah? Oh wow! Sorry, I'm just like I'm just feeding my other arm here, and like it's actually pretty like sturdy or whatever. Firm? Is that the word? Maybe, probably. No, feeling, right? Feeling. I don't eat my arm. That would mean that I wouldn't be able to really use that well. Yeah, that makes more sense. Though to be fair, I do kind of bite myself sometimes, but at most it's enough to dent, right? It's never enough to break skin. But yeah, no, it's because the way I'm holding my phone. I was like, okay, it's slightly tensed, but even that didn't really used to be like that strong. Like there wouldn't be that much effect like externally. But now I actually feel like, oh wow, no, it's putting up some resistance when I like press on the muscles. You know, that could be related to the fact that I at the start of this year started like really exercising to stay in shape. Because you know, like after high school, no more PE, and then at some point I got a job which was like, pretty heavy, also physically, just carrying a bunch of heavy stuff, or having to like pull stuff apart that was like freaking crushed into each other and vacuum sealed. So like that was really annoying. And then you know I didn't have, and then you know I started my studies. So then you know there wasn't really like any natural exercise happening. So then you know after half a year I was like, okay, yeah, no, I should probably just you know, and then at New Year's I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I should probably try and fix that. So then I did. About the vacuum sealed thing. So one time, there were these two pots. I think plastic ones, and they were like really stuck into each other. And the customer wanted one, and exactly one. So then I was working on that, and like it was like pretty much like 30 seconds, maybe more. And then a colleague stopped by and offered to help. So then he helped. Yeah, we still couldn't get it. So then he actually, using the headset, called in another person. And then finally, after a lot of like twisting and like pulling and whatever. Why does Dutch have so many nice words for like different ways of pulling on things? There's like English. I mean, I guess that's tugging, but that just doesn't have the same energy as some Dutch ones. But yeah, anyway, after a lot, we finally managed to separate them. Yeah, yanking, I guess. Yeah, there's just something about Sjorre. There's just something about that. And Frikke. There's just something about those words. There's something about the energy of them that I don't feel that English really carries well, right? I mean, there's also a lot that that doesn't carry over the other way. I do remember seeing this wonderful little video of someone recreating iconic film moments, but in Dutch. So then instead of "I'm Batman," it's "Ik ben Vleermuisman." And you just can't take it seriously. You just really cannot. Did that dude just buff this guy? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Bro, why do you have so much health when you do no damage? Wow. That was... I was really expecting something there, and that was just nothing. Oh, wow, we still have a pirate. Okay, there we go. You are a pirate. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I still gotta start working on. Eh? Oh, you drank like 4 cups of tea today. You're so happy. The simple things, you know. Are you British? Like, don't get me wrong. Tea is nice, especially like when you've got specifically nice tea instead of just a basic tea, or some functional teas. You know, like chamomile for sleep, or like lemon for you know, like if you have a cold or if your throat is like all fucked up. But like to just have that be like, oh fuck, I'm so happy about tea. That I suppose I don't. Oh yeah, also something about world building. Why didn't we just like freaking infiltrate them from here? Like why did we go through the effort of going through this whole minefield when we could just, you know, like it's right here. These birds are so silly. Wait, did I almost do it? Yeah, okay. Don't break. Come on, game, come on. Mighty Eagle would get sad you're not following the path. Honestly, it probably would be something like that. I mean, like we had to go on a whole side quest just to unlock the upgrades for the classes, you know, to like actually be able to level them specifically past just your normal team leveling. So it probably would be something like that. And even if it isn't, like if someone tells me it is, I would believe it, no hesitation. Okay, so that is the nesting burrows, and then there's the city and the mountain. So we're like, we're really making progress here. And I think we should be done within about half an hour. Oh, if the game doesn't crash again, that is. Ooh, okay, no, we're still managing to single hit them. Like the fact that we're still getting a bunch of single hit waves and battles in this part of the game is pretty neat. And again, just straight up single hit, like not even using the chili, That's so fun. I might just have a fifth now that you said that. Just now that you question it. It might feel sickly at that point, but who cares? Well, I mean, I do, because I actually care about the people that watch me, right? And people in general. And also, like, I would assume that you do, because you're the one that's gonna be having to bear the consequences of that extra cup of tea. Now, like, wasn't there something about all things in moderation or so? And like that it's wise to, you know, be. He made me. Hey, well, what the hell, bro? Lies and slander. Also, being a little lad. I mean, like I know lad is like a pretty normal word in some forms of English, but then specifically little lad, that just reminds me of the berries and cream guy. You know, it's some dude that looks kind of like Lord Farquaad, and he's singing about how he's a little lad that's got berries and cream, which was like some sort of flavor for a drink or a snack or something like that. But it was just so unserious and so insanely goofy. So now when I hear lad, then you know there's still like other associations, right? But if it's specifically little lad, then my brain just freaking locks in on the little lad. And on that stupid little goofy dance and song. Yes. Oh, right. I should probably just go for the. Yeah. Also, fun fact: this is the only enemy in game that has a single turn charge. No, because like it doesn't make sense to have that as a charge, because that's just, oh, you do something in the turn already. But hey, yeah, there's quite a few enemies in the game where it's like, oh, they're the only one who do X, or the only one who do Y. Oh, it's just pretty interesting. Also, Monty, you're just feeding them to me. This reminds me of that post where someone was like, or someone was talking about how they knew how someone's daughter told them about how their father was just kept donating. No, wait, what's the opposite thing? Adopting. There we go. Kept adopting cats from the shelter, but then they got eaten by coyotes. So then this poster was like, "Hey, you know it, nice, cool." And it's like, well, you know, it just sounds like you're just feeding them to the coyotes. And then his daughter starts crying. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It was kind of believable until the mention of the daughter crying. Are you just like some incredibly stoic people? That makes the whole story okay. Fair enough. But also, like, it is pretty realistic, especially with little kids. That they tend to, you know, overreact a little. Okay, so now we are in the city itself. No, the castle is not safe from this one bird on a mission to eradicate everyone he can on his own. Again and again and again. But is drinking tea the only thing you've been up to today, or has there been something else as well? Like, was that just your entire itinerary for the day? Just drink tea, drink more tea, drink even more tea. Just one more cuppa. Clean. Oh, hey, you know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right? It's always a good thing to make sure that your living space not the space that freaking kills you due to lack of hygiene. It never ends up. Over don't, over don't, over don't, over don't. That's what she said. sorry. I just could not pass on the opportunity. Please understand. uh, yeah. Cruelty. Yeah. But like especially like if your layout is pretty decent, then like cleaning is also pretty manageable. But it's easier, but you still have to actually go and do it, of course. Just because it's easier doesn't mean it does itself. Here the level where rest was pretty tricky, and where there was also like quite this room for different strategy. So you kind of had to try multiple times before you could actually conclude anything. But with Chuck, at least, it's a bit more straightforward, right? Yeah, okay, just hit him. Oh, nice, it still hit. Cool. I thought, like, especially with the shield, it might end up tanking even more. But here we destroy the children. We are like Anakin here. And taken out 2. Nice. Very nice. This one is also pretty easy. You just take the normal 1001 turn. And the big boy takes a bit longer, but well, we just hit him one more time. And from now on the poison will carry. So we heal. And indeed, the poison did carry. And now we just see if we can destroy any of these right away. Oh, that's tricky. At least we take out the healing bombs, right? Oh, also, I think that Prince Porky like is broken. No, I know Prince Porky is broken. Because here's like, okay, you can't take more than 1700, right? But if you would do more than that damage while he has his shield, he actually ends up taking even less. Oh, hey, you're still alive, you shouldn't be. There. Problem solved. Just freaking keels over. Like, that might be one of the funniest death animations in the game. I like how shit king he is. Yeah, like he blocks your rage attacks. Or he just cries. Oh, but he has a passive effect. Yeah, and that passive effect is just making the others like a little bit stronger. Like not even that much, just a little bit. It's like, wow, you kinda suck at this, don't you? It deals extra damage, maybe, sometimes. Yeah, it works 100% of the time, 50% of the time. Slogans like that. It's got a bit of that energy. Hey, so I wonder, like when you clean the house, do you also tend to put on something on the background, like music or streams or whatever, or do you just like freaking raw dog it? Okay, nice. He's there. Like now we're at the point where we definitely have to use the chili, but we're still just wiping them. If I had to raw dog clean the house, I don't even know. Yeah, same. But like even just with my room, it's like reorganizing some stuff, like sure. But if it's like actually something major, then I'm putting on music or I'm putting on a stream. Ooh, hell yeah! Nice. Didn't get to heal. Yeah, I have to put something up in the background. Goes a long way. Yeah, exactly. You know, but usually when I do my exercise, like that's a different thing, right? Then like, if there's a stream that I'm already watching, and it's you gotta be going now. Okay, goodbye. I do hope to see you again, of course, and it was very nice of you to stop by. Thank you. But anyways, as I was saying, like when I'm already watching the stream, then I tend to keep watching it. You know, I just put in my headphones when I go for my exercise. But like otherwise, I don't really tend to do any of that. You know, then it's just myself and the outside. Let's see, does this work? Yeah, no, I should probably just attack him. There we go. Nice. I think like if I actually went for the attack there, then we would cut him in. But now we still did. So that's nice. The music is pretty cool. I do have to say that. So now it's like the shield with 5, the castle, and there's just one more side track. Oh, that's quite the score. It's because the enemies are high level now, maybe. You know, that could actually be it. Okay. Now these we don't know how far we're gonna get. But you know, or at least like once we're at the final level there, because that's the one with 10 waves. And you know, again, that's one of those. Oh, there's only one, and it's the only level that does 10 waves in the overworld. You know, and 5 waves. Yeah, they also happen outside of castle and dungeons, right? Yeah. So they're not really that special. But the 10 waves, like yeah. Definitely. Oh, nice. Look, that is just being taken care of. Okay, then you do your damage here. And I open up my Excel just to do my Angry Birds RPG. Okay. So that is Rainbird, right? Yeah, pretty sure. Rainbird. And then those two I can just copy paste. Interesting. And I'm just seeing like that for one of them we didn't do mouthful, but for the other we actually did manage to complete it. That's like interesting. Yeah, okay, we just start with our chili. Control C. And then I have to like mainly move here because I can't use the arrows because for some reason they decide to have scroll lock, which is something you want off by default. Something that you have to turn on to be able to have your keyboard lights. Like do it on numlock, which is something that is more likely to be on by default. But no, Because why would you put any sense into the way you design your keyboards, right? No, why would you? Okay, then we just wait for them. Okay, enter. And we attack. And yeah, I'm just copy pasting like the levels. Okay, come on. And there. Okay, so those are the 2 levels that we couldn't do. Eastern Cobalt Plateau 7 and Red Giant Valley 5. And now just one more until a mouthful. And oh, let me just make sure to save there. Right. Let's do this. A mouthful, we are gonna be a bit more careful the way we do our stuff, right? But here we can just open with chili, and that's going to be entirely fine, entirely a-okay. And that's all good. So good, right? Yeah. Okay, right. Just one more hit, I believe, and then you get a mouthful. And I'm pretty sure that after that it is straight to the shield. So we're getting there, Now, so far we've also only built 2 levels. To be fair, we still have 2 of them, which are likely to take us out. You know, like if he manages to beat both, then this one is actually better for the solo than the others. You know, that would be pretty impressive. But we'll just have to see. Like, it doesn't really matter whether we attack or heal, and you know, just healing is just a tap, so that just makes it a bit quicker. Now for this one I will do the attack, just so that we don't get hit, because like maybe that little bit of health is gonna be relevant somehow. And then it's back to healing, then back to another attack. Not just as normal. And then, well, I don't know, something. Yeah, okay. Nice. Nice, okay. Now this is big boy. How much health do you have? Oh, not too much. I feel like that one's gone by the time he would be an issue. And there we go. And just one more hit. There. I guess the poison would have taken me out, but yeah. Now we want to just keep the attacks rolling. Okay, and these are also, you know, like we should be able to manage, right? Okay. Okay. Then they revive. It's like effectively we are doing like 1700 damage in that turn, right? Is that on par with the others? Maybe. I mean, like, it should make things a bit easier, right? Okay, now this is going to be a bit... No wait, because now they do damage and we can heal. Right, yes, that's a major difference, of course. The others couldn't heal, but we can just take this Reaver and have the enemies be dispatched with anyway. Oh, never mind. Ah, well, that's just waiting for him to go. Okay, this is going pretty smoothly. Like we are at full health and already halfway through the level. Okay, nice, nice, nice. There, and now we just wait. Like, that's the main thing slowing this level down, not the actual combat, but just the one guy that's slow with leaving. I mean, it is nice that he is slow when you're farming coins, especially like earlier on when you need the resources, because then you can just farm him. I mean, like with earlier on, I mean like when you're at cave 20 or so, and not doing a challenge like this, which then organically ends up farming you a lot of coins. Oh, okay, that was actually just a hit, but the poison should take him out, because if that was 300, then 1200, or 11 even, is way more than you need. Okay, just 3 more waves. This one seems easy enough. Just do the hits. There, and that one, before you can even do anything, he's also just gone. So that's cool. And now we just need to hit the other ghosts. And problem solved. There we go. Very nice, very nice indeed. Very, very nice. No, almost like Borat. Very nice. You didn't have to use her chili once. Yeah, like that's gonna be pretty cool once he like hit that final wave to just open with chili. Yeah, okay, no, he's dealt with. So let's just heal before we leave. Cool. Full health into the final wave. When you're entirely solo. Like that is just aura. Just imagine the aura of that move in the first place. Okay, cool. Cool, cool. Now this one might be a little tricky, but seeing as Lightning Bird managed to do it and he doesn't even get heals, I'm sure that we're gonna be fine. Let's keep the attacks going, because the damage we do is more than how much he heals, so there's not really much a reason to... What? Oh. Wait, he just does raw damage? Come on, that's a bit lazy now, isn't it? I mean, like, we are fine, right? Yeah, cool. Are we? Yeah, we are. Okay, now we just do our chili, and we should be good. I mean, like, yeah, we can take the time to heal, I guess. There we go, heal, and he's gone. Well, we might actually have lost the start to that, but not that I mind too much. Oh no, hey, we still get 3 stars despite being below half health, which is, you know, the lowest health score you can have with how health contributes to your score. Maybe just because it's not that much of the total level score because of all the enemies you defeat. But yeah, there you go. Mouthful, just not even a challenge, just super easy, barely an inconvenience. But like, for real. And now it's the shields. Now it's the shields. Now this is where it gets interesting. Oh, I just realized something for the final battle that will make it way easier. We can cleanse this effect. We will be free from the enemy healing himself. We don't need to worry about that. That is the main issue with that level. And and here it's just done. It's a problem that's solved. It's all good. We're chilling. Oh my god. Yeah, just attack. Just get it over with. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Here we're not even going for the higher score anymore. We're just going for quick defeats. Because again, it's just about beating the level. It's not about free starting the level. Like that's hard enough on its own. I mean, like not here because like you're all levels and stuff. I think like for the game entirely to like free start everything without the eagle. You know, like then you have to go back and like actually restart on your own. Like that's hard for some levels. So it's like, you know, if you achieve the free start once, then okay, cool, you did it, right? Oh, okay, you need to heal because that was quite some damage actually. Yeah, okay, let's heal again. No, so that was just kind of scared. But this should take it out, right? Yeah, there you go. Nice. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, only 2 again? Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, like, Nature Pig might be a bit tricky. But also we might be doing more damage than he heals. And we'll definitely be able to heal more than he damages, so it should be fine. Okay, sure, he doesn't take that much damage right away. But over the course of the level, yeah, see 1400 and we do like 17. And here we heal more than he damages, so we're fine. Or at least like he damages like every 3 turns. So our total capacity is, yeah, this is a guaranteed win, even if it's a bit slower. We always need a little bit to cool off, I guess. Okay, some more healing. Because the healing also gets stronger the more health this bird has. You know, like skills. Okay. I could have just used a chili there. But also, you know, it's only 1 turn wasted, so it's not too bad, I suppose. But still, they did want to be good of safe. But at least we're not like speedrunning. We're just doing this challenge on our own. Okay, let's heal. Okay, now you're seeing like this little dent. But that's also, you know, easy fix, easy fix. Okay, now like the more health we have, the more we heal. It's like if it was like a few mastery higher, then you would actually have, I think maybe even 1 mastery is enough. Like if it's only like 1%, probably like 10. So then, yeah, that's that. Ah, come on, dude. Seriously? But this should do it, right? This should be the end of your reign. And I guess you're not the ruling one, but like, you know what I mean, right? Ah, dude. Are you serious? This guy is just unbelievable, you know that? This guy is just unbelievable. But, okay, 900. Oh, and we have to do a crit. Because otherwise it was gonna have 300. And then he'd be back to 600 and we'd have to do 1 more hit. You know, like after the healing and the rain effect. You get 600, right? Or roughly. Anyway, no need to worry about that, because he is done, and that's the slowest one. I think even Evil Whispig is actually gonna be considerably faster. That is because we do get to use Prince Porky, of course. You know, that's someone who joins the battle later, so then that's fine. And this one is also like relatively slow, I noticed. Yeah, well. Like, what are you gonna do? Block our chili? Oh, woe is me. You know, you don't have chili anyway. And also, we can just cleanse it. And also, you're not even doing enough damage. Okay, now we're just messing with you. Okay, let's get some damage in so that it can actually be dealt with. And I'm still good. And now I'm really gonna go for the quick kill, right? Yeah, like, it's slow enough as it was. Okay. Well, now we need to wait anyway. So yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. And there we go, that is just the one more. And that's the Necromancer. Now he's pretty tough. Especially like once you initially get here. Because then he'll also get to do some of his summons, which can be a bit of a pain to deal with. But, you know, like, they're just gonna be single hits, right? And I'm pretty sure it only summons one. Oh, okay, this one like actually heals a bit, so here's actually worth cleansing, so that, you know, he actually takes damage. At least we don't need to worry about the summons, because, well, they don't even need to wait for the poison effect, they're just instantly out. Yeah, okay, pretty strong heals, so it's important that we cleanse the leech. It's not like the one on the mouthpool ship. It's actually significant this time. Oh wow, it's another one. I don't care. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and now we just use the Rage Chili. Should be enough to dispatch him, right? Oh, maybe not. It's kind of weird how this one like, activates at the start of the turn, but hey, that should do it. Yeah, nice. Now that's also so you don't have to worry about that ghost stunning you. It's just clean and it's done and it's over. Speaking of things being done and over, we are at the final castle. Just the one more. And that's gonna be it. After an advertisement, of course. Of course, there's the advertisement, which you don't mind at all. There we go, just kneel. We don't have to worry about a thing. Oh my god, just look at the sounds he makes. Or listen to the sounds he makes, I guess. Noise. Okay, there we go, we just heal. Okay, please just command one of your zombies so that I can attack you again and you can get poisoned again. Okay, look, I said... Well, at least we heal more than the damage they do, right? At least we... Okay, dude. Enough is enough. Please. I... You know, I thought based on what I knew of the level. But now he just seems obsessed with making this personal. Instead, there we go, finally. Okay, so now we can attack directly again. Which means that he can take a bit more damage again. Okay, and like, okay, I do see that this is a bad state, but we just gotta get this over with, right? There we go. And no, that's why I didn't want to risk using it early. So did we even have a chance to use it before we were all covered in goop and whatnot? I don't know, maybe. But now we are entirely fine again. We just do this, which puts on some passive damage. What do you do? Oh, 1800. Let's heal a little bit just in case. But you know, it's going down pretty solidly, and we heal pretty solidly, and also just explode just so he doesn't get to absorb those to heal. Did he just try to heal and he didn't do anything? Ah, dumbass. No, like, come on, they can definitely put us into the game. Like, oh hey, if there's nothing to consume, he's gonna switch to his normal attack rather than just doing what he already did. But no. like maybe it's a lore thing, kinda. You know, like, oh hey, he's just canonically that stupid. Okay, is this enough to... There we go. I don't even know how much health he has, really. You know, it's enough to slow things down a little, but also you can see... like how much did Prince Porky do? Like 1500? That's not that much. You know, so he's kinda weak. But hey, that is so far our best run total. With only 2 levels that we couldn't beat. Like before that, our best was 3 for the Samurai, Mage, and Lightning Bird all tied. And all of them also have, like every single one of these has Eastern Cobalt Plateau 7 as one that they could not do. Right, yeah. Let me just check the class name again. Oh, it's Rainbird altogether. Okay. And after that we have Wizard. Okay, so Rainbird. And then here we put in Wizard. And that would be the final one for Chuck. But we're not quite there yet. We are not quite there yet. Nice, decent. Come on. Oh wait, he doesn't tell you how far his mastery is. Maybe only when you're at the base camp. Could be. Ah. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, especially Matt, Pew, and Kylab for chatting. I of course do hope you're all doing well. Now let's see if there's like anyone that I know online. Well, let's see if there's anyone in this category first. Probably not. But let's see. You know, you never know. There could just be this one random. No, okay. Then I am just going to check for some of the people that I know. So let's see. Are you on? No. Are you on? No. Well, let's see. Who else have we got? Where is it? There we go. Um, b- right, right. Uh-huh. Okay. Hmm. Oh wait, this one is pretty neat. You know, like even if I don't really like Repo, their streams are generally pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and raise Mefiro. Okay, can we do that? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice. Now again, goodbye and good day, and uh, let's see our command raid message. And indeed, until next time, that's gonna be Thursday, 1400 Amsterdam time, and I'll be doing Portal 2. But of course, that like if you can't make it, that's entirely fine. You know, no worries. But yeah, that is what our next stream is. So you know, like, if you can, then you already know in advance. And with that, I say a good bye.